But like, what am I doing in the gym? It just makes me feel like a badass when I'm done, but I hate it when I start. Productivity equals good mental health. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Caffeinated Chaos with Cassie, where we yap fitness and books mostly, but also just how to survive this chaotic life we have. For our first sit down chit chatty video back, I thought we should catch up on what I'm watching, reading, listening to, kind of like a consumer report, what I'm consuming. And then also I have been suffering in this little thing up here. The mental funks have been funkin'. I have felt a good little turnaround recently. Part of the reason I'm probably coming back here on YouTube, honestly. And I just kind of want to share some things that I've done to get myself crawling back out of that. Not every day has been good. I'm still dealing with the mental funkies, but a lot of days are a lot better. And I think that counts for something. First, we're going to do the catch up, a little fitness update as well. I didn't mention that one earlier, I don't think. We're going to start with the fitness update. What am I doing in the gym? What have I been doing? Yeah, we're just going to start there. Right now, I'm currently doing 6 days a week workouts. For me, that just seems to be what is best for my mental health. That is not going to be the best for everyone or work for everyone's lifestyle. However, it does work for my lifestyle right now, and it does help me tremendously with my mental health. So I've been doing 6 days a week. I'm doing full body circuits right now, like cardio circuits with kickboxing elements. I do 8 exercises and I do 3 rounds right now of them. And then I have also recently added running in because of my competitiveness. I talk about that in my vlog. If you haven't watched that, check it out. My husband's been running, so now I'm running. I am not a runner, and it has not been the best experience. I'm actually, you know what? It's been great, honestly. It just makes me feel like a badass when I'm done, but I hate it when I start. So running, my goal is going to be 4 times a week for that. That's really doable for me because it has to be on the days that I have the time to also add that in. I go running outside, cannot stand running on a treadmill. Not for me. Okay, if you can, I think you're freaking amazing and I am super jealous. And then an update on what I'm doing as far as my diet. I track some days, I don't track every day essentially, and then I'm really just trying to focus on protein. I have always struggled with the nutrition side, the diet side of things, and it's still a struggle from cleaning up my gut and staying away from a lot of foods that trigger me. And fortunately, a lot of those foods are foods that are not the healthiest for you. That is what I've been kind of doing. It's just focusing on protein, tracking when I remember to track for the day. Now on to my consumption report, consumer report. This girl that I follow on TikTok that I absolutely love and Instagram does a weekly report, and I love it. And it's what she's consuming. So that's where this idea kind of came from. I'll pop it up here. You should give her a follow. She's great. I love her. What am I watching? Right now, I have actually branched out to watching more shows recently than I have in the past. I was stuck on just watching pretty much Naruto forever. Finished that, loved it, 5 stars. Will be continuing the 3rd series here soon. But right now I'm doing Hunter x Hunter, I think is how it's said. And I'm on the 3rd season of that. It's good, but definitely I want a little more fantasy element, I think, in my anime. I'm very early on in my anime journey, so we'll see where that goes. And then I'm also watching NCIS and NCIS Origins. I am an NCIS girly. I am a Gibbs girly. So Origins, I'm obsessed. I'm watching that weekly, as new episodes come out, and I am not normally like that, so that's impressive. And then I'm just trying to catch up on the normal NCIS. I'm big on watching those types of shows. I love all the NCISs. I love Fire Country. I love SWAT, Criminal Minds, House. So that style of show. Love it. Live for it. And now for reading. So right now I am in a Throne of Glass reread. So I am on Empire of Storms. This reread has been super eye-opening. I've caught so many things, or been just things have hit so much stronger the second time around when you know things. And it's also been long enough that I don't remember the majority of what's going on. And I'm 300 pages into Empire of Storms. I used to say Queen of Shadows was my favorite, but I'm thinking this one might end up being my favorite after the reread. And then I'm also listening to The Complete Guide to Astrology. I am trying to get a little more into audiobooks. I noticed though that I tend to enjoy more like educational self-helpy book via audio than I have enjoyed so far like a romance book or a fantasy book. I think 2026 is going to be like the year that audiobooks and me become like, that's my prediction, okay? And I am almost done listening to that. It's been like things have clicked for me with astrology that had not clicked before, so thoroughly enjoying that. Now for listening, I have been obsessed when it comes to music with MGK's album Lost Americana. It's no skip album for me. My sons are like, please stop playing that in the car because I play it all the time. I'm still listening to that every day. And then as far as like podcasts, I am tuning in weekly to Giggly Squad and Plan Brie. And I think those are the two that I've really been tuning in weekly to. As I am sitting here editing this, I realized that I forgot two YouTubers that I've been also tuning into weekly that are booktubers. I am obsessed with Mariana Reeds and Larry Reeds. Like obsessed. I tune into their TikTok and YouTube and love them so much. So totally was like, I have to include those. So here you go. Back to the original video. A little bit. And then it's just like random ones with like topics or people on them that I want to see that I've really been tuning into. Oh, I'm silly. I also tune in weekly to Leo Skeppy, Aware and Aggravated. Love him and love that one. I've been kind of falling off with the podcast. I think as I pick up more TV time, podcasts kind of fall behind for me. And now we're going to get to the good stuff, okay? The mental funkies. How are we getting out of the mental funks? Things that have helped me this year in 2025 to get out. This is something really, really new for me. Like I would say in the last like 2 weeks, maybe even only a week and a half, and it has already made a tremendous difference. And it is such a small change, so it's going to sound silly. Reframing, I have to do things to I get to do them. For me, a lot of times I spiral in like feeling super overwhelmed that my to-do list is so long and it's ever growing, and every day there's new things and there's things I have to do weekly and to show up for my kids fully. Like I volunteer in their school, I'm on the PTA, like I need to do all these things. And that really stresses me out. And so I caught myself in the loop of like, I have to do this, I have to do this. I don't want to do it and I have to do it. But I'm trying to reframe that mindset, and it has really helped to stop myself in the track and say, no, I get to do this. I get to work out. I get to go run. I get to volunteer at my son's school. I just really think changing from saying I have to do this to I get to, even for me, it's like I've noticed I started doing things around the house that I was like really putting off. It's like all of a sudden it's like I get to clean my house today. I don't know why that is making such an impact for me, but it has been. So that is like the first thing I wanted to share, because like it's so small and you think it sounds so silly, and it's really made a huge difference for me. This one I kind of touched on with my fitness update, but hitting a workout 6 times a week. For me, that's the sweet spot for my mental health, if we're being honest. I have felt my best throughout my entire adulthood when I hit workouts 6 times a week. When I start slacking on that, I notice there's like a very noticeable difference. And that's not going to be for everyone. I just want to repeat that again. That is not going to be for everyone. Not everyone's lifestyle. 6 days a week is a lot. But for me, prioritizing that workout makes me a better mom, makes me a better wife, makes me a better friend, all those things. Something different this time around that I did is I've incorporated more like creative outlets, or creating, like drawing with my kids, painting things, making videos again. For me, making content is a great creative outlet for me. I really enjoy it, having that like creative energy flow. I have a lot of fun doing that kind of thing with the kids. If I can get them to color, that would be great. My boys are not good colorers. I wish they were though. However, you like to be creative, like having some form of creative outlet that you're like putting time and effort into. I've been like making more of an effort to like spend time doing creative things. And I think that's really helped me. It like really feeds my soul. And then listening to or consuming things that motivate me or feed me like positivity. I notice when I get in the loop of like brain rot activities, or like even on my For You page, if like it becomes like a brain rot central, like that can really cause me to just like mentally spiral. For some reason, I just am very much like productivity equals good mental health. So if I'm not being productive, the girl's mental health is going to start showing that at some point. And then the last thing I have is I actually heard it on one of Alex Cooper's solo Call Her Daddy episodes, and she was talking about how her therapist had told her that she needed to like turn off the noise and like sit with her thoughts more and like start slow. That really spoke to me because I never don't have noise. I have TV, music, podcasts, something on at all times. I sleep with the TV on. Like, I never want to be alone in my thoughts. Never. That is something I do not want to experience. The way that she had explained it in the episode would, if I can figure out which episode it is, I'll link it in the description because it was a good one. But like her therapist like explains how like she's not giving her brain time to like think things through. So at night when she hits the bed, all those thoughts come rushing in and then she can't sleep. And for me, that's why I literally go to sleep with TV on, because I don't want to be left alone with my thoughts. I took that as like, dang, I really do need to do this. Like, I need to work on this. I need to be able to sit with myself in quiet and like function and not spiral. So I've been like slowly incrementing smaller times, or like if I notice myself grabbing my phone to put on something for no reason as I'm doing the dishes, I just don't. Or a big one for me is like taking a shower. I've been, not every day, but some days I'm taking a shower and I'm not putting music on, or I'm not putting a podcast on, and I'm just sitting there in my thoughts. And honestly, having that time to like group what's going on in there and just allow myself to think has been crazy. It's made such a difference. It's so wild to me that that even is a thing at all. But it's so simple, so little, to just stop adding noise everywhere you can and kind of sit with yourself and sit with your thoughts. And honestly, it's where I used to be like scared to do that because I would spiral. It's honestly helping me get out of the mental funkies. I'm really glad I started incorporating that. And if you are like me and you always have noise on, please, you should give it a try. Start small, like 10 minutes or like a shower or just doing the dishes, whatever it may be, but like try to have a little bit of time where you're like alone with yourself. And just like everything else, what gets me out of this mental funk might not get you out of your mental funk or your bad days. However, maybe something I'm talking about today will help you. And that's what really matters. Because for me, like, I hear these little bits and pieces of thing, incorporate them in my life, and it really helps. So I'm just hoping to pass that along to someone. But something else to just remember, there was a girl I followed on Instagram so long ago, like when I was in high school, and she would post bad days build better days. And I love that. So just remember that if it's a bad day, just try to tell yourself bad days build better days. And if you're still here, I freaking love you. I love you. Thank you for hanging out. And don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.